All right, well, it's been a long time, y'all. I know that it's been a long time. Let's keep it at that. But I feel like this is really important. This what's going on over at YouTube right now. There's a situation, I'll call it, in this video regarding TheActMan and QuantumTV. And as I'll say later throughout this video, throughout the whole thing, I'm really just kind of here to provide information and keep y'all updated, and maybe even y'all might not have heard about this in the first place. And I think that it's really important for a number of reasons. Not only is it important for the future of YouTube, not only is it important for all the creators on YouTube and even other platforms, it's also important because it's Pride Month, and there's, as we'll see, there's a lot of things that have been potentially said that are very anti-LGBT, and I think that it's really important while we have this month that is focused on, hearing stories and celebrating the lives of LGBTQ people and the, Stonewall and how that all culminated in the rights we have today. I think it's really important to bring up the situation that's going on. I think it would be really a real not bring it up. I mean, obviously people have already, it's been talked so much, but I feel like a lot of y'all maybe don't know about it. And I feel it's important to do my best to do whatever I can in my power to spread this as far as I can. So with all that said, happy Pride Month. And again, yeah, this video is going to be a summary of the situation going on at YouTube and also then indirectly on Twitter involving TheActMan and QuantumTV. I'm trying to make this video as informative as I can and not making any claims of right or wrong or anything like that. Just keeping y'all in the loop of what's happened and what is happening, because there's literally an update that happened as I began making this video. So TheActMan himself has a number of videos that I will discuss and link to below, where you can get the entire context for yourself. So if you're like, wow, this sounds really interesting, I want to know more, I really recommend going directly to TheActMan's YouTube channel. He still has 2 videos that are up, with one being taken down, though you can find that still on the platform through other ways, such as Asmongold reacting to it. And also I'd recommend you check out his Twitter, because that is going to be where he's posting all of his updates to the situation as it unfolds. So, Paige, what are you even talking about? Who is TheActMan? Who is this QuantumTV guy? All right. Well, it all began about 2 months ago. I think it was near the end of April. So this YouTuber by the name of QuantumTV posted a review of Elden Ring when it had come out. And he trashed on it, saying, which is totally fine, right? Saying that those, this isn't maybe right though, saying that those that like the game have no friends or family. Also says that people claiming he should just get good sound like abuse victims. Another direct quote, "It has to be for the players who think every game is effing easy, and if you aren't one of those players, then you are a scumbag, you filthy casual. At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man." That is a direct quote from a video he has since deleted. Quantum has since deleted that video, but it was referenced in other videos, as we're about to see. So another YouTuber by the name of Mischief then critiques Quantum's Elden Ring review and also brings into light Quantum's copyright abuse. Again, I'm not going to be going into the specific details of a lot of things because they're way more fleshed out in other videos. But hearing this, hearing and seeing the video, Quantum himself then begins to harass Mischief over his video. TheActMan then reaches out to Mischief for more details about what's going on here, right? Because TheActMan, his YouTube channel, he does a lot of review work. He's played Elden Ring, so there's something going on. He's not sure. He talks to Mischief to find out what's going on. After that, TheActMan makes a video titled "The Worst Elden Ring Hot Takes," in which Quantum's review is included and talked about and critiqued for about 2/3 of the video. Another YouTuber by the name of Griffin Gaming makes a video about Quantum and is also attacked and harassed by Quantum. Asmongold begins talking about Quantum and TheActMan and also reacts to a number of his videos and tweets. Review Tech USA then, also, as you see, it's picking up steam, the Streisand effect's going on. So Review Tech USA makes a video about Quantum and is also threatened and harassed by Quantum. Review Tech USA also points out how Quantum is actually evading a previous ban that he received, where Quantum was banned for hate speech. Review Tech USA does a deep dive into Quantum's Twitter during a live stream, finding and proving the hate speech from 2018 that was on Twitter that is anti-LGBTQ, with one post going, and again, all this, you can watch the videos, you can see all the context for yourself. I'm not going to post that here for fear of like getting this removed, but one post by Quantum on his Twitter 4 years ago went so far as to wish 2 women who were kissing in a church. He wished that they would have been Pulse victims. And if you don't know, the Pulse shooting was I think it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, I think second biggest maybe, mass shooting in U.S. history, where the Pulse nightclub, which was a LGBTQ club, was the victim of a mass shooting event where 47 people lost their lives. And Quantum has just said that in numerous times, that he wishes people who were in the LGBTQ scene or community would have been Pulse victims. And again, this is on Twitter. You can see the context for yourself. Look through the videos. Quantum then, of course, responds to these the tweets. Quantum's only response, and I think this was actually before the live stream, but Quantum had claimed that, or might have been during the live stream, honestly, I can't figure out the exact timing of this, but at some point Quantum did respond to the tweets, claiming that during 2018, when these tweets were from, that his Twitter, YouTube, and all social media platforms were hacked. He also, in his new tweets, doesn't condemn the hate speech that was in his previous hacked tweets, claiming, well, why would he need to defame it and condemn it if it was hacked? So it wasn't really him. And then once he supposedly regained control of his account, right, which eventually he did, he didn't delete the posts at all. There's nothing done. During 2018 and up until now, there was no mention of a hack. During Review Tech USA's live stream, where he was going through the Twitter and the blog posts, where Quantum had said all of these terrible things, the Twitter and blog posts were actually taken down live during the stream. So Quantum's, the area where he actually had these on Twitter, presumably Quantum was taking these tweets down. During the live stream itself, as it's being, portrayed to everybody. And so this next part that I'm going to talk about, it's only brief. I'm going to talk about it for 5 seconds, but I think it does deserve a content warning. It's related to trans people. So I'll put up a red flag while I briefly talk about it. And then once I'm done, I'll remove it. So one of the tweets, so there's talk basically about, well, if his account really was hacked in 2018, 4 years ago, then, well, that explains it, right? But another thing that was made clear was that about 2 months ago, as little as 2 months ago, Quantum had made a post in his Discord in defense of one of his mods who had been referring to people to trans people as trannies, which obviously is a very offensive term to the trans community, of which I belong. So that was a thing. We have the screenshots, we have the proof from the Discord. But that's as much as I'll talk on that. Content warning over. And ultimately, Quantum's response to all of the criticism, again, was to delete any videos that he had that referenced hate speech, removing the tweets, that show or mention his hate speech. He never was condemning that speech, saying that I would never say that or that that's a bad thing. He simply was removing access to it. But it's the internet, and you can't delete anything on the internet forever. Again, as I'll state before, and I've stated many times, is a summary. So if you want to learn more in depth about things, I highly recommend, because there's so much more. There are so many more posts. There's much more hate speech and specifically the anti-LGBTQ tweets. And if you'd like to learn more about that, I highly encourage you to check that out in the videos I will link below, or searching TheActMan on YouTube or his Twitter account as well. So after all the info that was found out by Review Tech USA and with everything else, the TheActMan made his second video titled Copyright Abuse on YouTube featuring QuantumTV. Now his previous video was with regard to the review that Quantum had posted, and it was mostly about Quantum, but there were also talks, there was also information about, you know, and it was a hot takes. It was a hot take of Elden Ring hot takes. So there were other people involved. However, this video, his second video, is entirely about Quantum. And with the research that Review Tech USA did, as well as TheActMan himself having some of his videos copyright claimed by presumably Quantum, he decided to make a second video all about Quantum. And this, of course, pulls from everything that Review Tech USA found out with the hate speech. It pulls from the false claims that were actually made against TheActMan himself. It also, I believe it talks about the ban evasion that Quantum is guilty of. He actually had a previous account of his banned and has made new accounts in order to evade that ban. And there's really just a whole lot more. Quantum attacking other YouTubers. Again, I'm only providing a very basic summary here. If you want to learn more, if you want to know more, I highly recommend you check out TheActMan's YouTube or his Twitter. And the video title specifically is Copyright Abuse on YouTube featuring QuantumTV. I will again have it all in the description below for you as well. And this video also goes down even further. It goes down further into a rabbit hole. So there's so much more. Like, if you are at all curious about all of this, I highly recommend you check it out for yourself. But ultimately, at the end, TheActMan basically calls on YouTube and says, here's a bunch of info we found. Here's what we found about this Quantum guy. He's copyright claimed falsely. He's got some hate speech going on. Get him off the platform. So with everything going on, right? TheActMan is very confident that Quantum will soon be removed from the platform, right? All of this is getting pointed out. There's, you have the hate speech, you have the ban evasion, you have copyright abuse, and it's like, well, clearly YouTube doesn't support any of that. I mean, they've been, they are not a platform. They've said in their community guidelines, they don't tolerate that kind of stuff. So at this point, TheActMan is fully confident that YouTube has his back, and soon enough, sooner rather than later even, Quantum will be removed from the channel. But as those of you in the know, he was wrong. Yeah, Quantum, still right now, as I make this video, is still on YouTube. So, and if you thought that this already was like, wow, that's a lot of drama there, Paige. That's a lot of crazy stuff you're talking about here. Especially then if you go watch the actual videos for context. But oh no, this is only the tip of the iceberg. So YouTube returns the verdict, right? Emails TheActMan back and says that Quantum is completely innocent. He committed no copyright abuse that their specialist team was able to find, and according to YouTube, has not violated any community guidelines. And so obviously this came as a shock to a lot of people, TheActMan especially, right? He'd put all this data together and thought he had a clear-cut case, right? Proving why Quantum is breaking so many community guidelines. And so in response, TheActMan makes an incredibly well-made, I mean, this thing is polished. This thing is edited so well. Ace Attorney stuff. It is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece video. And he makes it in response to the lack of Quantum being removed from the platform. He goes incredibly in depth. If he from the previous video he made, he goes so much more in depth. He talks about every little thing. He proves things. He links things together, and also there's so much more. There's also this, because QuantumTV he's a tech reviewer, and apparently he's also stealing other people's like TV calibration settings and using them as his own. So he's scamming and frauding people as well. So this video, it's like an hour long, I think. It goes so in depth. It points out absolutely everything, right? And it's released, and everyone's like, oh man, here we go. Now is the time where Quantum will get what's coming to him. And then about a week later, so at this point that would be 2 days ago, or on June 7th, TheActMan's video, the newest one that he released, was taken down from YouTube, and a strike was taken against his account for nudity and sexual content. He of course appeals that decision, and a half hour later, I think 31 minutes later specifically, his appeal was denied. At the same time, within a couple minutes after that, 2 other random and completely unrelated videos of TheActMan's are age restricted and demonetized. And following this, and in the wake since of that, other YouTubers who have talked about or reacted to his video, was just titled The Dark Age of YouTube, I believe. Anyone who's talked about or reacted to it is also having their videos demonetized. I know Asmongold's video was demonetized where he reacted to it, and I know Review Tech USA also had demonetization. And so then yesterday, which was June 8th, TheActMan is informed by his YouTube partner that his entire channel will be demonetized in the future, and he will be removed from the YouTube partner program. This, of course, is a total shock. Like, this is I just got a strike, which it was his first anything on the channel, so it's technically a warning. So why is this happening? This seems like a really extreme thing to have happened. But then later that day, his entire channel was demonetized, and he was removed from the YouTube partner program. And currently, we're seeing, again, anyone who is posting about TheActMan and Quantum and YouTube is having their videos removed. I know that Review Tech USA was going to make another video, or made another video, and then YouTube said it was against their terms of service, so he had to take it down or else he'd get a strike on his account. So basically, YouTube is going after anybody who is reacting to, posting, providing context to the TheActMan situation, whether that's video removal or demonetization or other actions. And also, of course, again, meanwhile, there's been no action taken against QuantumTV. His channel's still there. It's not demonetized. No videos have been removed. There's nothing has happened to him specifically. And the latest development, while I was in the process of recording this video and making this video, I checked in on TheActMan's Twitter. And finally, today on June 9th, we have found out the actual reason why TheActMan was removed from the YouTube partner program. And I'll read this all out to y'all. So Team YouTube on Twitter responded to TheActMan today, stating that the reason for his YouTube partner program suspension was a now deleted tweet from TheActMan, in which he threatened to dox the families of YouTube employees and content creators. And context is incredibly important here, because the context is that TheActMan was doxed directly by Quantum himself, which again, in one of his videos, he goes into depth on that. But TheActMan was doxed directly by Quantum, who actually called TheActMan's mother and asked to speak to TheActMan, all while making veiled threats. TheActMan's brother was also later doxed by someone claiming to be Quantum, though it was not actually Quantum himself. And it's important again to realize that TheActMan discussed this in not only his second video, which is still up, but also his latest video. And he even included the phone conversation that Quantum had with his mother. And YouTube took no action to that. YouTube took no action to Quantum doxing him and calling his mother. And so then TheActMan later took to Twitter in a post stating, and I'm reading this verbatim, I am excited to announce a new series of videos I'll be making on YouTube called Doxing Adventures with ActMan. In it, I'll be doxing and harassing the family members of YouTube employees and other content creators. It's sure to have lots of family fun, ha 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 ha, winky face emoji. And the reply directly below the post from ActMan, right? So it's him replying to and providing context to that, was, with YouTube's new policy changes that allow doxing and invasion of privacy, I'm fully allowed to make these videos, with the heart face smile emoji. Please stay tuned for this new generation of advertiser-friendly content. Peace sign emoji. So that is the context. That is ultimately, from what YouTube has now told him, that is the reason why he was removed from the partner program. And if you see some issue with that, if you think, wait a second, again, I encourage you, watch the videos, look up everything yourself. Again, I'm trying to be as non-biased as I can in this video. I'm trying just to provide information, almost as a test. You know, if I'm just providing information, I'm not claiming one way or another, will YouTube still say that this violates terms of service? Because all I'm doing is talking. I'm not saying Quantum's right. I'm not saying ActMan's right. I'm not saying either of them are wrong. I am just stating what I know from the videos, what I've seen from the videos, the proof that we have. That's all I'm doing. And you could argue, well, you should you should talk about it more in depth. And I think the thing with that is I feel like it's already been so talked about by TheActMan himself. I mean, again, for this video, I'm going to remain unbiased, but I think that he's talked in depth about a lot of it. And at some point, maybe I will make another video if that is something y'all want to see. Maybe I'll do a short stream just talking about it. But this video at least is simply to keep y'all up to date and to provide context. And again, like that's the big reason why am I making this video, right? I want to get this story out to my community, to the people that know me and that I know and that I've been involved with, because a lot of y'all, if not almost all of y'all, are within the LGBTQ community. And I think that having a content creator who who has some views like this is important for us to know and be informed about, and especially during Pride Month. And I think it's especially important when a company like YouTube, who has claimed to celebrate Pride and celebrate diversity and the LGBT community, I think that it's just important to check in on that and to keep note of that they, your actions versus your words. And again, because I'm trying to remain unbiased here, that's as much as I'll say. But yeah, so that's all the information. It's crazy to think that all of this started with an Elden Ring review. And yeah, so the current, again, a summary, a reminder of where we currently sit, maybe a quick summary of the whole thing, right? A TLDW, too long didn't watch. Quantum made an Elder Rings video reviewing it. Mischief then criticized that video under fair use. Quantum then began harassing him and a number of other YouTubers who were then criticizing his video. Eventually, TheActMan gets reaches out to Mischief to find out what's going on, and TheActMan creates a video going over Quantum's review. He then, at TheActMan then, after finding information from Review Tech USA, makes a second video cataloging all of what's been going on with Quantum, the hate speech, the copyright abuse, the ban evasion, the doxing, and hoping that YouTube will then hold QuantumTV accountable. And they don't. In fact, nothing happens. So TheActMan then makes a third video, a very long, in-depth, detailed expose. Almost feels like a court case. I mean, it definitely feels like a court a court case the way it's presented, with the ace attorney in the background and everything, pointing out just absolutely everything that he can think of, doing his best to prove one way or another what Quantum has said and done. Again, YouTube does nothing. Then TheActMan, in his frustration, takes to Twitter, presumed frustration, right? Try to be non-biased. I can't speak if he was frustrated or not. I assume he was. He takes to Twitter. He makes a post saying that he's got a new show coming up where he's gonna dox and harass YouTube employees, and then provides further context below. So, you know, basically being frustrated at the lack of accountability that YouTube holds Quantum to. And then TheActMan has his channel nuked, and he is demonetized and removed from the partner program. So it's a roller coaster. Again, I'll link down below to the videos that are still up from TheActMan to provide context, and so y'all can see for yourselves. This is what this is all about, right? Getting information out. Also link to his Twitter. And also I encourage you to, you know, if you don't like links, go look up TheActMan on YouTube. Go look up TheActMan on Twitter. That's where you're going to get your most up-to-date information, Twitter especially. Because he's, you know, since TheActMan is demonetized and fears for his channel's safety moving forward with posting new videos, he's not really that active on YouTube anymore. So Twitter is the best place to go if you want to keep up to date. So to end it all, I mean, thank you all for watching this. I think it's a really important message. I think it's a really important situation going on for a number of reasons. I think it's important that as many people know about it as possible, because I think we need a lot of eyes on it. I think when you have a monopoly like YouTube is, and there's no alternative, that we need to do our best to make that platform then the best we can. And yeah, happy Pride Month, y'all. Stay safe. And hope to catch you again soon. Bye.